Hi, my name's Ricky, and I'm talking to you today a little bit about my experience with breast implant illness. I had um, silicon cohesive implants in for 14 years. When I got them, they were new to market after being banned for 10 years. I felt one that was cut in half. I was told it was completely safe and couldn't disintegrate, and I tried with all of my might to pull the bit out. I was convinced that what he was telling me was the truth. He told me that I could have those implants for the rest of my life. And at 19 years of age, I was like, awesome, I'm going to have amazing boobs when I'm a grandma. Let's go. So went ahead with the procedure. I was well, apart from instant weight gain, for the first 4 years. And then I developed a knee injury which wouldn't heal. I had surgery on it because I thought that there was Baker cyst through my knees. It turned out to be my knee lining that was shriveled up into balls because of the chronic inflammation. They decided to do a synovectomy and shave it all out, which was the worst thing they could have done. It wouldn't heal, it kept bleeding. I had multiple cortisone injections, was referred on from specialist to specialist to specialist, trying to get to the bottom of why my body was reacting this way. There was no blood work to support the symptoms, but they went ahead and diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. I had radiation treatment injected into my knee in the oncology ward. I was in there for 4 days with no visitors. I was on heavy medication, Plaquenil, methotrexate, sulfasalazine, oral cortisone injections, as well as oral cortisone medication as well as injections, which were then into other joints as well. So my hip got affected, my elbow and my sacroiliac joint all had cortisone injections through them. This went on for nearly 10 years. I went down every natural route I could think of to help relieve my symptoms, and all I ever found was some relief. It was some management in them, but it was never overcome. I used to say to my husband, I'm like, does everybody just feel like this? Does everybody feel this tired? Like, how are you just walking around like that? Are you not in pain? Is everybody in pain all the time? I was just in constant pain, my neck and my shoulders and my back. I was a hairdresser, so I just thought that was because I was a hairdresser. It was all-consuming pain, all-consuming fatigue all the time, despite the rest of my other symptoms. I was then diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroid disease, autoimmune disease, and once I developed capsular contracture, the anxiety that I'd been experiencing the whole time I'd had my implants, and probably got progressively worse, it just went really, really bad. I think would have been around the same month that I was diagnosed with capsular contracture that I went on antidepressants. Not thinking there was any link in it, just thinking that I was a mum, not coping, not cut out for this whole mum thing that I'd always dreamed of, which, obviously was a hard pill to swallow. And I asked to be put on medication for my kids' sake. And I was still having panic attacks and anxiety to the point I couldn't breathe. They kept putting my dose up and up. Same with every other drug. It didn't work. If anything, it made it worse. It was overloading my already overloaded endocrine system. The capsular contracture was squeezing more and more chemicals into my body. I don't know if anyone's ever seen how tightly the scar capsular contracts around an implant, but an implant at that point usually has a lot of deterioration through the shell. So mine definitely had holes and cracks all the way through it. So it was just pouring more and more stuff into my body. I literally felt like I was going crazy. It was horrendous. And it wasn't through lack of trying to get better. I went to psychiatrist, literally felt like I was going crazy. And they just wanted to put my dose up more and more. And in that time, my capsular contracture got so bad that even though the doctors told me it was safe to leave for 2 years and have an ultrasound every 2 years, at the 14-month mark, it got so painful that I couldn't bear it anymore. We didn't have the finances to do it earlier, and I had young babies that I wasn't going to be on bed rest for voluntarily, like for my own, I guess, vanity reasons, and, a little bit of pain I could deal with. But it got to the point where it was too much. So we had to get out a credit card and put it on that. 5 surgeons I saw, they all tried to talk me into putting them back in. They won in the end. And, obviously at that point I had no idea about breast implant illness. It was just something in my gut was just get them out. I didn't want to be hacking into my family's income, like trying to replace these implants all the time that I was told was, good for a lifetime, which was then changed to every 10 years. And 5 nights before my surgery, I stumbled across a comment on a post on someone else's page, which led me to a page about breast implant illness by sheer luck. And yeah, straight away, I was on there for 2 minutes. I was like, right, this is me all over. I can tick off 90% of the stuff on this list. That night I cancelled my surgery. I booked in with an explant surgeon the next morning, and 6 days later they were out, and all of my symptoms have subsided completely. Most of it was overnight. I certainly had some relapses, like the 3-month mark, 6-month mark, but each time less and less. And it's like night and day, like flicking a switch. It is insane what these devices are doing to women, and 90% of the women out there have no idea that their implants are doing it to them. Like, they know they're unwell, they know they feel like crap, they know they feel like they're dying, but they've got no idea it's their implants, just like I did. If someone had told me 10 years ago that there's a 5% chance that your implants are doing this to you, they would have been gone. I don't even care what my boobs look like. They would have been gone. And there's so many women out there like me sharing their stories to make our journey worth something, to help anyone that is going through it, or stop anyone getting on that operating table, to give women an informed choice before they put these things in their body.